It's been a long time since we had a lunation in Aries that wasn't linked to an eclipse. And last month, we had eclipses at the time of the new and full moons. So, this passionate, fiery, energetic Aries full moon is actually a relatively calm, lovely lunation, especially given the fact that this whole outer planet triangle, Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto are all retrograde at this time. So, this is a full moon about endings and beginnings, and it might feel like we have one foot in the future and the other in the past, or it could sort of feel like you're pressing on the brake and the gas at the same time. But this is a very interesting full moon, and I'm excited to speak about it with you today. And I also want to talk about what's happening with the lunar cycle. It switched around after those two new moons in Virgo that we had in a row. And now we're having the full moon and then the new moon during each sun sign season. And this is a pretty big change that occurs every 2.5 years or so. And I'm excited to talk with you about that today as well, and just all about this Aries full moon. So let's go ahead and get it on the chart. You might notice if you've been here before or regularly, and thank you so much if you have, that I'm here at a little bit of a different time. I'm recording this today on Sunday morning, the 5th, instead of on the 6th. That timing really works out well in terms of this lunation and in terms of my schedule. So I'm here a little bit early and usually than usual. I might do an extra episode at some point this week. Either way, I will be back on Friday and back to the usual schedule at that point. Okay, so here we have the Aries full moon. And of course, a full moon happens when the moon is across from the sun, from the Earth's perspective. And these astrology charts always show us what the skies look like from the Earth's perspective. So we have the moon here in the sign of Aries right now with the sun in Libra. And so that means that we're in this period of the full moon in Aries. And really, this is already starting on Sunday, the 5th, because the moon has already entered Aries. And once that happens, this lunation starts to come online. And really it takes, it really begins a cycle that lasts for the next 2 weeks. So if you think about sort of the qualities of the last lunation, really says quite a lot about the astrology of the 2 weeks that follow until we hit the next lunation, either the new or the full moon. So an Aries full moon is a lovely thing. First of all, it brings a harvest, sort of a fiery, exciting, bold harvest to the Aries part of the chart. So if you think about, if you know your chart and you know whatever house Aries rules, whatever sector of the chart Aries rules, it could be that efforts, seeds that you planted 6 months ago, you're sort of noticing come to fruition to some extent now. And then we're keeping in mind that that lunation cycle 6 months ago with Aries and Libra was still activating the Aries Libra eclipses. We hadn't fully switched over into Pisces Virgo yet. The nodes were there, but we did have an Aries eclipse at that time. And then all the way back to 2023 when that eclipse cycle opened up. So this may be a sector of your chart that's gone through quite a lot of changes in the last few years. If you think back to 2023 and you think about what's changed since then, and we may be now settling into that new landscape because the sort of era of intensity in that sector of the chart uh, based on eclipses is slowing a bit now. Now, if you're studying astrology, you are well aware of the fact that Neptune and Saturn in 2026 will be coming into Aries. We've been working with Chiron here for quite a while. So that's not the end of the excitement in the Aries sector of the chart, but the eclipses in and of themselves are really, they're so potent in astrology. A lot of what happens with astrology is quite subtle, quite nuanced. And I think that the more that we tune into it, sometimes the easier it is to see. I've sort of learned to understand these energies more and more over the course of studying them. I can sort of pick up on them more often than I used to. But I think that eclipses, you don't have to pay much attention to notice that the eclipses are pretty powerful. So, for example, the last 6 weeks, have you been busy? Do things look different in your life than they did in early August? What has changed since then? What did you get done? What happened? What changed? What began? What ended? There can often be quite a lot of movement during an eclipse season. It's more active than other time periods. Maybe like 4 times more active, 10 times more active, not just a little bit more active, quite a lot more active. And we really notice this in the collective as well, in the world, in what's happening around us. The news is generally quite active during an eclipse season. And I think we certainly saw that this time around. Um, and so the fact that the Aries and Libra lunar cycle is really now officially over with this lunation is significant. Since 2023, we've been working with these themes. Working with the Aries and the Libra part of the chart, whatever that is for you, whatever axis that falls across. And also working with themes around bringing in the highest potentials of the Aries signature, where the North Node was, and letting go of the more negative potentials of the zodiac sign and signifiers for Libra. So, for a lot of people, in 2023 to 2025, there was a bit of letting go of people pleasing, letting go of overgiving, indecision, letting go of losing your own wants and desires by trying to please others, by trying to keep everything harmonious and safe and pleasant and comfortable. There is something so wonderful about the diplomacy and the harmony and the peace of Libra, but it's hard won. That energy works very hard to get there. And there are positive ways to go about it, and there are sort of destructive ways to go about it. And a more negative tendency of that signature can be overgiving, can be pleasing, can be showing up the way um, other people will respond well, trying to show up and sort of look the way other people might want you to look that would please them physically and in other ways. Um, and bringing in the Aries side of the chart, the positive potentials of the Aries side of the chart, being an individual. Being okay with being an individual, not needing other people's approval, not needing to have everything worked out in order to get something started. Really being able to tap into your own energy, knowing what your guidance is telling you, what things light you up, and knowing, oh, that is a sign from myself that I need to move toward those things, whether they're activities, places, people, books, recipes, whatever, moving towards the things that feel good to you, remembering that that means that that's what's for us, and then moving away from things that don't feel good. Within reason, we're here on this planet and we all have to do a lot of things that we don't want to do, right? We don't have full control over all of this, but we can use that Aries North Node from 2023 through 2025, I think helped a lot of us to tap in more to those messages and to be able to honor them more consistently when possible. And so now with this lunation, we're sort of just having a normal Aries full moon. It's not an eclipse. There were eclipses last month in Pisces Virgo, which is a whole other story. And we will keep talking about it as we have been. But this lunation here carries with it that story that we're sort of at the end of that whole cycle. It is also just about the harvesting in the Aries part of the chart, seeds that you planted towards the end of that whole cycle that I was just talking about, sort of coming to fruition now. You might be able to look at your life and go, okay, what did that yield? What did doing that actually yield? What did leaning more toward my own messages and who I am, what did that, how has that changed my life? And in what ways can I do a better job of that going forward? You know, I love the I love the leadership of Aries. I love the boldness of Aries. Um, and one of my favorite things about Aries can be the way in which it just sort of allows things to get started without fully knowing exactly where they're going. It's that start energy. The two images that I have for it are a match. When you light a match, right? When you strike a match, it's Aries is cardinal fire. It is fire getting started. And a fire getting started is amazing, right? It's one thing to transfer a fire from one candle to another, or for a fire to Sagittarius, or for a fire to burn in a fireplace, Leo. Um, but whoa, what an interesting fire signature, that cardinal fire, that fire that gets started. And also the other image that I have is in springtime when, which is Aries season, right? In late March and early April, when you get those little shoots, those little sparks of green life coming up from the earth. You don't know what it is yet, right? It hasn't really manifested into a full flower or blade of grass, like whatever this life that's coming up is, but it's getting started and it's powerful and it's green and it's growing and it's bold and it's new and it's fresh. And that is Aries full moon energy at its best. So, as much as we have, that's sort of why I said endings and beginnings, as much as we have all this conversation about the end of the cycle with the eclipses, as much as we had those eclipses last month in Virgo and Pisces, this lunation has definitely beginning energy because Aries is beginning energy. And so you probably could feel both of those things. And that's why sometimes it can feel a little bit like getting going, but also slowing down. And another reason for this is this outer planet triangle. Let me go ahead and put this on the chart too. We've been working with this outer planet triangle all summer, and it's going to be in play again in 2026. But right now, so we have Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. These are outer planets. They're all in the process of changing signs, and they're all retrograde right now, all three of them. So that is sort of a very slow, contemplative energy as well. So that's sort of an interesting part of the push-pull dynamic as well. There's this, so much happened over the summer. So much just happened. So much just changed. And in the world around us, within ourselves, and maybe within our lives as well. And now we're sort of adjusting to that. But we're also so excited to keep moving forward. So there could be a little bit of a feeling of like, oh, I'm ready to go, but it's not time yet. Almost like it just made me think of like Christmas morning or something, and you need to wait until 6 o'clock to go wake your parents up or something, or waiting for something exciting, but it's just not time yet. So there's all that fresh start energy, but it can't really land. So that can feel a little bit frustrating. Something that I really love about an Aries moon signature, I think it's my favorite thing about Aries moon, so I just wanted to mention it here, is the emotional initiative that Aries moon takes. So there's quick emotions sometimes with Aries, and that can manifest more in a more challenging way with when it comes up around irritability or anger, which can happen with that Aries energy. So be on the lookout for that too within yourself and others. But Aries moon signature people, and so this is all a little more available to us this week. The Aries moon signature is related to being comfortable being the first person to show an emotion. So leading emotionally in some kind of way, like being, maybe at work, comfortable, expressing, crying about something, having some tears about something that is genuinely emotional, or a child who gets angry about something and shows it and expresses it, and it sort of allows everyone else to allow themselves to express their emotions too. It really sort of leads the way for others to tap into their sincere, genuine emotions. There could be something this week that feels really good about just doing something new and different, doing something that you've never done before. I have a fairly strong Aries signature in my chart, and I remember once spending a birthday with someone else who happened to have a very similar signature and also had a birthday around that time. And we went for a walk. It was spontaneous, and we went for a walk somewhere we'd never been before. And neither of us, and we both like to walk and go different places. And I didn't plan that or anything, but I noticed it while it was happening, and I thought, oh, how perfect. Two Aries, explore a new location physically with the physical movement. It just kind of hits all the marks. But it doesn't have to be big and dramatic, right? When we're talking about doing something new, doing something different, it really might be, instead of going and doing the normal exercise thing that I do on Monday evenings, I'm going to do something different, or I'm going to, watch something I've never watched before, right? It doesn't have to be life changing. But it's funny how sometimes when those things line up, you really remember it. I remember that walk. And I've had birthdays where I did a lot more, and there was a sweetness to that experience. And I think it happened to line up with really what's right for me. And that's part of it. So allowing yourself to do something different, do something totally new, something a little adventurous. Aries likes a little bit of adventure. And it's also totally okay to do this alone. Aries does not mind being alone. Aries loves being alone. Aries loves being independent, being the first one to do it. So you really don't need anyone, or anything else to explore this side of the Aries full moon this week, or Sunday. We really can do this on Sunday too, because like I said, the moon is already in Aries. There's this amazing permission to be yourself that comes with an Aries lunation that I really, really, really love. Um, And there's an action and a movement to it too. This isn't really energy that likes to like sit around and reflect. It wants to get going, but then at the same time, we have this reflective energy. So I do think that we're sort of attempting to balance that as well. There is a reflective quality to this. We're sort of processing everything that has changed in the last the outer planet triangle is longer since like June. I think that June or July, that outer planet triangle came together. And this is more about everything that's changing in the world. And even if we just think about things like AI, technology and those things, if everything just moved forward always, it would be way too much. We need retrogrades. And I think we need this outer planet retrograde. I don't think it's bad at all. I think there's been so much movement and progress and change into the new era. These outer planets are all at early degrees of their signs. And that means that we're really stepping into a new sort of period of time. And we're transitioning from 2024 through 2026. And this fall, the end of 2025, there's a lot of processing going on. Within that transition time, there's forward movement, there's pauses to process. This fall, we're going to be more on a pause to process. The summer was a lot of forward movement. The fall is a lot more of a slowing down, integrating, processing all of these things, making adjustments and tweaks in our plans for what's best for going forward. So processing all that change, integrating everything that's going on, but then really sensing that next push forward as well. So I think that this is a really interesting thing. I also wanted to mention this lunation cycle that I mentioned. So every once in a while, we have two lunations in the same sign. This just happened. We had two Virgo new moons back to back, one in late August, one in late September. When that happens, it switches the lunar cycle. So what's happening now is that for the next 2.5 years, when we enter a new sign, so we're in the sign of Libra now, we have the full moon first, and then we have the new moon. So we're having this full moon in this full moon in Aries. And then in 2 weeks, we'll have the new moon in Libra. The new moon in Libra comes way towards the end of Libra season, right? The sun has been in Libra the whole time. And then we will be in Scorpio. And we're going to have the full moon across the way in Taurus. And then towards the end of Scorpio season, we'll have the new moon there. And all the way around for the next 2.5 years. And then it's going to switch again. So for the last 2.5 years, it's been going the other way. We have the new moon, then the full moon. Okay, I noticed this. I think anything with the moon, anything, full moons, eclipses, the lunar cycle, all of these things are palpable. And maybe that's just me, but I think that some of these things work so subtly that they're hard to perceive. Some of them we can kind of understand better later, like anything with Neptune can be a little bit tricky to pick up while it's happening. But I noticed this lunar cycle, and here's how I sort of think about it. So a full moon is a party. A full moon is a great time to be out, to be social, to be busy, to be seen, to be more active, to go into the world. It's a party. The full moon's a party. The new moon is a meditation. The new moon is a great time. The sky is dark. To be a little quiet, to go within, to reflect, to plan, to be quiet and rest. So full moon is a party. It's a time like we're having right now where things are being harvested from 6 months ago when we planted seeds. We're seeing the results of that in what's happening in our life. It's a busy time. But then at the new moon, we plant the seeds for the 6 months ahead. So it's nice and quiet and um, more of an internal time. So it's like, do you want to go to the party and then meditate? Or do you want to meditate and then go to the party? You'll probably have a better time at the party if you meditate first and then go. If we go to the party and then we come home and meditate, it's like you're always trying to integrate what happened, right? So this is the way I think about it. So the way the lunar cycle is happening now, it's sort of like Libra season kicks off the ground. We have a lot of busyness, we have a lot of excitement. We have all these new things coming in, and this is especially true because Libra is igniting this kite pattern every time anything moves into Libra. So we have a party, and then we have to process, and we have the new moon, and we go more within that, which I think of as a meditation. So that's very different than doing it some other way. And I tend to think they both have their benefits. They last about 2.5 years. It is, all of this is subtle. You know, astrology, it's best used not as a tool for prediction or forecasting, but as a tool for introspection and personal growth. And I think that sort of noticing the importance of uh, moving through situations with a certain calmness, or any way that we can sort of process this information that is meaningful for us and helps us grow, that's sort of the best use of astrology. Of course, it has these sort of predictive components to it, and that can be really interesting. But I think trying to use it to not to see what's going to happen, but more to help you think about what you can do is a better way. So when I think about the lunar cycle having switched like this, I think, okay, so that means I need to work on being more and more conscious of carrying that piece with me, even if it's not readily available. You know, it's one thing to be peaceful and harmonious when everything is cool, but what if everything is really busy and active and you haven't had time to catch your breath and process? Can I be still calm and grounded and make good decisions within that kind of energy too? So I just wanted to mention that switch of lunar cycles because I hadn't yet. And wow, I'm just taking a look here at my at the chat, and I want to have a little time for Q&A. I also really want to say thank you. And I think I might have some super chats here to say thank you for as well. But I just really want to say thank you to Lucy, who is the very first member who signed up for the channel. I did open up memberships just for priority in the comments because it's getting a little bit hard for me to respond to all the comments, which I was doing forever. But now it's starting to get more difficult. So I opened up memberships for priority in the comments, and there's like little emojis that come with it, and just so many thanks from me if you join that membership. I might do more with memberships in the future. For now, I'm just opening it up for anyone who wants to be a part of this channel. It really allows me, these contributions really allow me to put more time into the channel, to make the videos a little longer, to spend more time and energy on this channel. And so if there are some people who have asked about supporting that. So I wanted to open up an option for that, and also just that priority in the comments and thank yous from me. And I also received gifts and supers this week from CJ and from Cheryl. And I wanted to thank both of them personally as well, again, because it allows me to put more time into the channel. So thank you so much. Those are more of a one-time thing that you can do. And I understand that that makes a lot more sense for a lot of people. Thank you so much, Monique. You're so welcome. Yeah, this isn't about anything, yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to get into all of that. Different people passing through who have different opinions, which is totally fine, and they should move on. Um, well, I'm seeing people talk about retrogrades. Don't fear retrogrades. Don't fear retrogrades. They get a bad reputation, these retrogrades, but retrogrades are not bad. They're really not. Like I said, imagine if we just moved forward all the time. And even within your own chart, it's ways in which you are more inward focused. It's okay. Don't worry about retrogrades. Sometimes a Venus or a Mars retrograde can feel a little difficult. I hear you. And I mean, a Mercury retrograde as well. It's a little bit different with the outer planets. Yeah, and I see someone, Crystal. Hi, Crystal. You are crystalline alchemist, I should say. Um, it sounds like you're using a Placidus chart, which is totally fine. I use whole sign houses. I used to use Placidus. Now I use whole sign houses. I switched in 2016 and it was tough mentally and psychologically because I'd been looking at my chart in Placidus for, 25 years or however long I'd been familiar with my chart at that point and since the 90s. And so in 2016 to switch it over to whole sign, it doesn't change much, but there are different ways basically to draw these lines. And you will see different astrologers using different house systems. I was introduced to this house system. I learned the background of it. I started testing it and it was better. It was more accurate. And I ran so many things through it. And I went through probably a year or two process trying to decide what to do. But I did ultimately switch over to whole sign houses. And I'm so glad that I did. And it also just makes so much more sense for talking about the chart in this kind of way. And it's more tied to the Hellenistic system, which is what I really like. But everyone does things their own way, and it's not that one is right and one is wrong. All of it is right. Everyone makes their own agreement with how they're going to work with this stuff, and that's great, and that's fine. So that's why you have Pisces and Aries in your first house. Crystalline Alchemist. And hello, Jacqueline, and hello, Michelle, and hello, Otis, and KJ. Oh, I love people talking about being open. Okay, cool. I'm glad people are sort of noticing maybe some resonance with some of those dates that I mentioned. Oh, you're all so cute. I love you sending these. What is this? How do you send this? That's so cute. Sending little emojis. I don't even know what that is. Crystalline Alchemist sent party hat. Monique sent latte. Crystalline Alchemist sent flower. That's so cool. I don't even really know what that is, but I appreciate it. I wonder if there's something. Oh, it looks like they might be gifts. I think it's something new, and so I'm not familiar with it yet. I'm sure when I sign off, I will figure it out, and I will address the flower and the latte and the party hat that you sent me in my next live stream later in the week or sooner. If I do an extra one this week, I might. Thank you. Oh yeah, look. I see. I think it's just like a way to send emojis, but no, it's something else. Hearts. Okay. Oh, Jackie sent. Thank you so, so much. Thank you so much, Jackie, for your super thanks. Oh, I really, really appreciate it. And welcome to the channel. Yay, Jackie. And again, thank you to Lucy and CJ and Cheryl. Well, I see someone talking about how there's 13 constellations, and that is true. And that's not unknown to the astrologers who came up with this stuff thousands of years ago, nor is the shifting. It's related to the seasons. So, And it's okay though, too, also, if you're not into it, go do the things that you're into. You don't have to be into astrology. Um, just taking a look. Yeah, very big shift in energies, Denise, around those eclipses. Hi, Jeff. Nice to see you. October 17th, a Libra. So we talked quite a bit about the Libra signature today. I hope that that was helpful and felt like a bit of a reading. I'm not giving personal readings right now, but I may open up again for readings or sessions soon. I'm just focused. I'm here. I'm exclusively on YouTube, and I'm really just enjoying getting this channel off the ground here, really. Red, I'm glad that it was helpful for you. Thank you, Monique, for the floating hearts. Oh, they're like TikTok, it's a super chat. Wow, that's so great. Thank you. I think that is it like, I see something that I haven't received before. What are they called? They're like gems, or what do they call them? Rubies. They call them rubies. Are they related to rubies? How wonderful. Oh my gosh. I really appreciate it. I need to understand more about all these systems. I'm looking, I think I'm going to, when I say goodbye, which I will in a minute, I might sort of hit some of these buttons here. So don't mind me if I stay on an extra minute to try to explore some of the settings, and then I'll be more set for next time. I am 46 years old and doing this channel, so I am learning as I go, but I have enjoyed talking with you all so much today. This is a really nice full moon. I feel like I can feel it, and this has been a really nice chat with all of you. So I hope that you have a wonderful Sunday if you're watching this live, or on Sunday. I hope you have a wonderful week, and check out the horoscopes on my channel, best viewed by your rising sign. I'm also going to attach a new video that I did at the end here. It might take me about a day to get it attached because it just takes a while for them to do that. But I did a new video about why you should watch horoscopes by your rising sign, and it answers some other questions about horoscopes and how they come together in general. And then I also will attach a video about why you might be resistant to watch your horoscope by your rising sign. A lot of people don't really relate to their rising sign, and there's a reason for that. So I'll attach a video about that as well, or you can look on my channel and see that now if you feel like it. Thank you. I'm sorry for, oh yeah, I'm seeing that the stickers, and they are worth money. That's so amazing. Thank you so much. They're like stickers, and then I think that they end up like at the end of the week gathering together, and they reimburse me for them or something. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love the stickers. It's so great. I'm going to learn more about this. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for forgiving my own naiveness here. And I'm going to play with the buttons now, see if I can learn anything. Okay. I see, Chris, listen, a laughing disco. These are amazing. Like, what is going on? They're so cool. Can I heart them? Oh, I can heart them. I want to see all my gifts. Can it show me all my gifts somewhere? It feels like there should be a button where I can see all my gifts, you know? Sorry if it closes down if I hit the wrong thing. Oh, wait. Hi, are people still there? Oh my gosh, I think I closed it and then came back. I was able to see something about how I can set a goal for gifts. Okay, that's really interesting to know for next time. I can like set this little goal for gifts. And then, oh my gosh, a Sunday. Stop. They're so cute. Oh my gosh. Wait, I love them. Oh, I can start a poll. How fun. Do you love gifts too? Whoa, that's so funny. Is it just up for you guys? I hope that it isn't up on the whole channel because I just wanted to see how it worked. Do you see do you love gifts too as a poll? Can people vote? Oh my gosh, 100% say yes. Okay, I'm gonna actually, oh, 2 votes. That's so fun. Okay. I guess that's just up for us, huh? That's so neat. Wow, there's so many. Drag here to end the poll. I can end it. Wow. Okay. See, this is why I'm playing around with this, guys. Do you love gifts too? Yes, 100%. No, 0%. 6 votes. Wow. All right, that's how I can filter the chat. Chat filter. Okay. Yeah, that helps. Okay, great. All right, everyone. I think I've explored around here enough. I appreciate you all being here. I hope that you have a wonderful Aries full moon season. Thank you for being here. Bye.